This episode of the Home Podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/HomeandPodcast. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Now on to the show.
Lions just recovered a fumble.
Bits of wisdom.
It's Harry Houdini, I'm pretty sure.
That's when it kind of becomes Home Improvement After Dark.
I guess that leaves us at the question of the week.
Very good. I don't know if you noticed, Jordan, but a really cool aerial shot of the table. Reasonably funny.
User review.
Does everybody know what time it is?
Home and Podcast time.
Well, that's right. Bin for Tools is proud to present a Home Improvement Podcast. My name is Adam, and you all know my co-host, Jordan, Mashed Potatoes and Gravy Lions.
That's not even my favorite side dish for Thanksgiving, but I'll take it.
That will be something we want to talk about here momentarily, because this is the episode we're releasing a week before Thanksgiving. Isn't that right,
That's
Jordan?
right. That's correct. Yeah, so we got to get all of our Thanksgiving digs in. Mm-hmm. And, I'm okay with being like one of the main side dishes of Thanksgiving.
Could have been worse. I almost called you yams or cranberry.
Don't call me yams. Yeah. There's one thing you can't call me. It's yams.
I know you're sensitive about that. I've never understood why, but
I like to think of myself as the honey baked ham of this podcast.
Yes, indeed. Jordan, Thanksgiving's right around the corner. We'd be remiss if we didn't talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing.
We'd be remiss.
I think our listeners probably feel the same way.
They're wondering. Everyone's clamoring on Twitter like they usually are about what we're doing for the big holiday.
Yeah.
And, it's going to be pretty low-key for me, actually. Next week, my whole family's coming in, so I'll have my whole family in Florida for a little bit, and then my parents are going to stay through Thanksgiving. So my parents will be here, but my in-laws will be heading back up north.
I was going to say it's going to be one full house.
Nope. No full house. So it'll be just a small gathering for maybe. My dad invited a friend who's a snowbird who lives over in Tampa last year, so he might show up again this year. Yeah, that's how he rolls. But maybe that'll happen again this year. What about you? What do you got going on for the Great Gobbles Giving?
I'm actually going down to DC to visit my sister and my family, so I'll be heading down there for a couple days, and I haven't been to DC in a while. I'm looking forward to it.
One of your favorite spots.
Yeah, I really do like it. Yeah, I haven't been there in a couple of years, so it'll be good to be back. But I'm looking forward to eating some good food too. That's what we like about Thanksgiving, right? That's
the thing, right? You get to watch some Lions football. You get to eat some good food, family. You guys play any games or anything on Thanksgiving?
We very well may. I don't know that it's. I would say more. We associate games more with Christmas. But it's possible that we would play some games. Yeah, we'll probably play the Home Improvement Handyman game.
Yeah, I knew you were going to bring that with you.
Bring that on the airplane. I only get one carry-on, but it might as well be that.
Yeah, I can't think of anything more important. So
Lions, it'd be nice a big game this year. Kind of some implications there, I would say, potentially.
The last few years, actually. Yeah. So that's always, it makes it more fun than when you get blown out by the Patriots by 40 points.
Or when Peyton Manning throws 6 touchdown passes before halftime, which I remember happening one year, and it was really
sweet memories.
Yeah, that's great. But yeah, we're going to talk a little bit at the end of the show today about our schedule moving forward. I think we've hinted at that a little bit, but this will be our last episode that we have some pre-recorded stuff, but we are wishing everyone a happy Thanksgiving moving forward.
Absolutely. So, yeah. We're also wishing everyone a happy episode 69.
And this is it's definitely the horniest episode we've ever covered. So the fact that it's episode 69 really
it's very fitting.
It's very fitting. Maybe it's a coincidence, maybe not, but yeah, this one is, as far as Home Improvement goes, this is fairly R-rated. It might as well just be called, the whole episode might just be called Home Improvement After Dark, because it is.
Hey, that's one of my alternative titles.
Sorry, because this one goes places.
There were some surprises. Let's just say that.
Yeah, we'll wait. But there's a lot. It reads more, or it listens more like an episode like Drew Carey, or I don't know, just like a raunchy sitcom than Home
Spin City or something.
Yeah, just something where there's a lot of double entendre. But this is episode 69, and it is It was the best of Tim's. It was the worst of Tim's.
Sure was. Adam, I want you to read this. We have a new sponsor on Patreon, and they're sponsoring this episode. Why don't you go ahead and tell the audience who that is?
This week's sponsor is Kirsten Grimes, who coincidentally or not coincidentally is my girlfriend, and she is sponsoring this week's episode. She is a new donor, new subscriber.
Always a big fan.
She's a big
huge fan.
There was really no need for her to donate financially. She donates all of her love and support to the podcast. I don't think she's missed an episode yet, but we are very thankful to have her sponsorship today. And I'm just thankful to have her around. So thank you, Kirsten.
Absolutely. If you want to sponsor like Kirsten, just go to patreon.com/homeandpodcast.
That's
all
right.
right. Let's get into the episode. Written by Rosalind Moore and Howard J. Morris. They were a part of that 4-writer team that did Eva Construction. So that was just a couple episodes ago. This one aired March 30th, 1994. Some interesting plot keywords for this one.
Orgasm.
Nope.
Okay.
But there is flatulence,
yeah.
tuxedo, and wrestling.
Yeah.
So I guess that's good. You said you have 4 alternative titles, correct?
Yeah, I do.
You took one of mine. Not
Sorry.
a creative one, but
My
it's
fault.
very appropriate.
Yeah, that's more on you than me. I mean.
Yeah, it's my fault. So you can go ahead and go first, and then I'll go.
All right, I'll start with my worst one. This is just something that is said in the episode, but it's probably my favorite line, and I just thought it was really funny. Quite the dazzler. I just really liked it when Wilson said that.
Yeah, you could do that in any episode, I guess.
Yeah.
My first one's going to be Plumber Bummer.
All right, the next two are a reference to the episode title. You know, it's a Charles Dickens Best of
I got
Times,
one of
Worst
these
of Times.
too, so.
All right, Ebenezer Scrooge.
All right. Not bad. Here's my Dickens one. A Tale of Two Timmies.
That's pretty good. Double onions, no funyuns. They're not good.
I think I like mine better. My last one is Demolition Dirty.
That's a good one. Here's my last one. Charles Dickens. It's a dirty episode, and I think I lowered myself to the humor of it.
Yeah, it was pretty bad for you.
Yeah.
Isn't Tim Allen's middle name Dick?
You tell me. Yeah, it is. I think
You tell me, but you know.
I think his name is Tim Dick. I think his last name.
Yes, you're right.
So
Yep.
So it all comes full circle. Here we are.
Sure does. All right, plot synopsis time. You know, it's been a long time, and we were wondering when your roommate Bernie would come back. Mm-hmm. But Bernie's back, baby.
He came back for a good one, episode 69.
All right, he says, Jill hosts a baby shower for a friend. Tim reluctantly attends. The women flatter him, and Tim charms them. Jill wants in on some of the charm with Tim, but he does some uncharming things that night. Hashtag charm. Hashtag charm.
Charm is also the goal. Yeah, it's
Hashtag Charmander.
That's yeah. We should have opened the episode with you talking about going to see that Pokemon movie at theaters.
True.
You freaking nerd.
Don't be hating.
Yeah, sounds like it was really good based on your
Hey,
tweet,
I got a free Pokemon card.
That is awesome. Yeah.
And then there was a mix up at the theater, so I got free tickets to come back and see another movie. So I'll take it.
You're gonna see the sequel.
There is
Pokemon, more Pokemon.
Pokemon, I choose you too.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna see Thor. I think so.
Ragnarok. I saw Murder on the Orient. We saw Murder on the Orient Express last night. It was good.
I didn't even know that was a movie.
Well, look into it. Let's talk Home Improvement, though. That's what that's the namesake of the podcast. We're obligated to talk about this episode.
We are obligated. So why don't you hop in and start?
And so I shall. We open.
Not on Tool Time.
Not on Tool Time, which was a nice change of pace. Because that hasn't worked for a while.
This whole episode is a change of pace.
And it is nice, yeah, for mostly, I think. Well, we'll talk about it at the end. We open with, if my memory serves me, kind of a cool aerial shot of the dining room area. And Tim he's wrestling with the boys. They've moved the table and the chairs out, which I thought was just a nice detail. I remember, I don't know, I just feel like when I was young, I was doing a lot of moving of furniture and stuff. That was something I enjoyed doing.
You were looking forward to a career as a mover.
So as to make forts and like I don't know, just like clear the area. Like I was always really interested in like moving around. Maybe this is weird. I was always interested in
That
like
really
moving
makes sense because when you used to clean up, you would just move stuff around. So
when I was young, I was like obsessed with like changing around the posters in my bedroom or like moving my bed or my dresser. And so like I did it like every couple of months. I just really like doing it.
what a strange,
I know, isn't that weird?
strange child.
Yeah. All right.
It's a wonder you turned out.
Tim's wrestling the boys. Logo comes in.
Logo's beefed up a little bit for this.
Been doing some crunches, some bicep curls. Logo's jacked. It's actually probably the worst graphic they've ever
It's
used
weird
for Logo.
looking. He's got some shoes on and
He
a
looks
hat.
like Bane from 1998 George Clooney Batman. If you remember that. You know what I'm talking about? Okay. Well, he looks like Bane from
That's
that.
what he looks like, though. It's scary, so...
It is scary. Tim's wrestling the boys. He uses his famous move, the half smelly Nelson,
Oh,
because
boy.
his armpits smell so bad, which is funny, but also kind of gross. Why isn't he wearing deodorant? He's wrestling around. Jill comes in. She knows about the move as well. He kind of separates from the boys and he starts unpacking, helping unpack the groceries. There's some bite-sized jokes here, which
There's,
I assume you probably liked those.
Why?
I don't know. It just seemed like your kind of thing.
Because I'm short? Is this a short joke? How dare you?
Jill discloses that there's a baby shower for her friend Linda from work, and I was like, well, I've never heard of Linda before, but
surprise.
Good to hear Jill's making friends at the magazine.
The magazine still.
The magazine.
The
I'd like to see. I don't know if they're ever going to do anything with her at the magazine. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, why not? Take her into work one day. I want to see what it's like. Adam, I was going to ask before we move on, what was your relationship with wrestling growing up? Have we talked about this before?
I feel like we probably have. Do you mean like wrestling around or professional wrestling?
I think maybe both.
Big fan of WW. Well, I call it WWF. I don't call it WWE.
That's because it was WWF
yeah,
or WCW.
I was into WWF. Went to probably 3 or 4 like live events. Big fan.
Wow.
I feel like we've talked about this before, so I won't dwell on it. In terms of wrestling around, yeah, I mean, I think I like to wrestle as much as any young boy does. I don't have a lot of memories of. I didn't wrestle. You know, we didn't have like you had 3 older brothers that you maybe wrestled with. I didn't necessarily have that, so I wrestled around with my dad a little bit, but nothing really comes to mind when I think of that.
Not a lot of roughhousing.
Not
a lot of like clearing out space, but not a lot of roughhousing.
I just moved furniture around. I didn't really come to wrestle.
Yeah, I had my mom did not like wrestling.
Yeah.
And so I had to like sneak it on TV. I always had like Tom and Jerry on the previous channel.
You just click back.
I'd have to, when the door opened, I'd have to switch, like I was turning the channel to something else. And I'm sure she saw through that, but who knows? And then, yeah.
I think you got to pick your battles, It's like...
You do.
Yeah.
What's the problem here?
Right. Yeah.
And then, I actually didn't, like, wrestle a lot with my older brothers. They did just a lot of beating me up more than anything else. But with...
You probably had it coming.
Yeah. With Sam, we usually wrestled stuffed animals. So we'd bring out, we'd
Nothing
like use
wrestling something that can't quite fight back.
Yeah, we perfected our special moves, the pile drivers and whatnot, and we usually used like a pull-out couch or something. And I do remember one time Sam, was there, and we were doing that, and he like ended up hitting his head on like a bar in the middle of the pull-out.
Yeah.
And he had to get some staples in his head. So it was real roughhousing.
And then he couldn't do math after that, if I recall.
Yeah, it really affected him for the rest of his life.
All right, back to the episode. So Jill, she's planning a baby shower at their home on Saturday. And for whatever reason, she really wants Tim to make an appearance, which I don't know why she really would, other than just like, I guess, to meet her work friends. But Tim's recording a Tool Time on Saturday, which I didn't necessarily know they did. And then he's taking the boys to the Demolition Derby, as you said, the Demolition Derby later on. But there's a 2-hour window where he can pop in, and Jill would like him to. And I guess he says he will.
Well, no, he says that he's got work to do upstairs. So he's trying to make excuses, basically, the whole time.
Sure, yeah.
But, yeah, before that, Tim tries to go on his, like, women together doing baby stuff rant.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And it's very short-lived, which is good, because I think that would have really been one of the things that brought the episode down.
That is, it's well-worn turf at this point. And then, when he ends up showing up to baby shower, like that doesn't really seem to be how he feels. So it's really more lip service than anything else, and it's not especially interesting.
Yeah, he's got something in his head that isn't exactly what's going to happen. But
that's right.
We move on to Tool time, and Heidi's doing something a little bit different this time. She's sitting in the crowd. She's starting the show from the crowd. She says, "Does everybody know what time it is?" Of course, everyone does. Tim comes out.
It'd be funny if they didn't.
Well, in the outtakes, they don't. So.
Yeah.
Tim comes out, but there's no Al. Turns out he's come down under the weather, but he's going to be available by phone. And Heidi rolls out like this piece of drywall that has Al's outfit, like normal outfit. He's got the flannel and the jeans, and then there's a big old wall phone that you would have seen from the 90s just hanging on the wall. And it's got a beard. So this is Al.
You think that was funny?
It was okay.
I laughed the first time.
Yeah, I was
wondering,
think it was too bad.
do you think that they did this? Do you think that Richard Karn, the actor, was unavailable or actually sick? Or do you think that this was something that they wrote in?
Yeah, I wondered that to myself, and I didn't really have any good reasons for thinking one way or another. I guess I just assumed that he wasn't sick, because don't they usually record all this stuff like pretty close to one another?
Yeah, I guess you just wonder what the point of this would have been had he not been sick.
Right.
But yeah, there's no real way to come up with anything conclusive, so I don't know. But
well, maybe a poll.
Yeah, when we do polls that are specific to the episode, those usually get a lot of votes and really gain a lot of traction.
Yeah. So Al sneezes and is hanky over the phone. He's never been out sick before. He's always been at the show, and they're going to continue their salute to plumbing, but Tim can't do it alone, so he brings out Felix the plumber. So Felix is back. And I would say a welcome addition to the show. Felix,
I'm not a big Felix fan.
You're not a big Felix fan? He's got that dry humor that I like.
It's kind of
or
boring.
that dry delivery.
Yeah.
Felix recounts some of Tim's plumbing disasters before they move on, and Tim tries to bring Felix into like the baby shower discussion. Like
he tries to do what he would normally do with Al.
With Al. He's going to go on one of those rants.
Yeah.
But Felix does not understand what he's saying. So Tim says, "What do you think about baby showers?" And Felix says, "I'm against them. I think babies should take baths."
Yeah. I didn't. This was not my favorite scene.
All right. Well, Tim tries to explain further what he means, but Felix still is not getting it. He thinks it's about plumbing. They move on because Tim cannot get through to him. And they're going to talk about a sweaty toilet, and Al starts getting a little mouthy, and so Tim drops the call on him. So it's just Felix in the crowd and Tim at this point. Talk about doing some DIY versus getting a licensed plumber. And for the DIY solution, Felix has one way of doing it, but Tim has another faster way of doing it. And I wonder what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's almost as if we've seen this before.
Yeah. So Felix warns him not to put on like the instant glue onto the toilet. Tim says, "No, I know what I'm doing," and his hands get stuck. The phone rings. Al says, Felix picks up and Al talks Al talks to Felix and he says, "Al wonders if you got your hands glued to the toilet."
How would Al have known?
He knew they were talking about toilets, and he knew that Tim is dumb. So I guess maybe they have an idea of what they're going to go through on the show, and so he's like, "Okay, we're talking about gluing something to a toilet. I can see where this is going to go."
You know, I don't like to say this very often about this show, but that seemed a little unrealistic to me. I don't know. I know this show goes for realism, but that might have been a step too far.
Well, you know, my problem with that phone was I didn't see a phone line anywhere. Where was the cord?
Bothered me as well. Yeah, that bothered me as well. I was
This is
also
not
bothered.
cell phone.
I was also bothered by the fact, like, since when do phones wear clothes? I mean, like, what's that all about?
I mean, we don't even get me going on the mustache that the phone has.
I mean, it's pretty rare that we can be more unfunny than the episode, but it seems to be what we're doing. So
we're doing pretty good.
Next scene. Baby shower.
Baby shower. This is a pivotal moment in this episode.
Yeah, I mean, we should have talked about this before, but do we dare play a clip, or is it too long? I mean, it's just that Tim is really at his best.
He's very affable.
Right.
Probably a little bit too long.
All right,
unfortunately.
well, let's discuss it then. I think I can do it justice. Tim comes in, and the baby shower. It's a small baby shower. I mean,
there's like 6 people there.
Is there that many even?
Yes. There's
Okay.
2 people in the background, There might, yeah, I think there's 6.
There's 6 people in a small cake, and that's really the only sign that there's a baby shower going on. Tim comes in, and man, he's charming. I mean, he's charming the pants off of these.
Well, first he tries to
folks.
avoid the situation.
Yeah, but
He says, "Tell him I'm your Spanish pool boy" or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't care about that. But when he gets in the mix,
baby,
Tim, watch yourself, Tim. They're all like, the women are. They're like flirting with him.
They're making eyes at him.
I mean,
sure.
they are like, yeah. They are really, really infatuated, and
they start with
impressed
like
by Tim.
the one line that Tim loves the best, which is "I watch your show all the time."
Yeah, and like they watch the show. Another woman says like, "You're even more handsome in person than you are on TV," which is like, no, I mean not.
I mean,
really.
Adam, I can't tell you the amount of times I've been around you and people are saying that to you. So
yeah,
I guess you know that rings true.
It's very, very true. Yeah, but yeah, like they're and like they're just flirting with him, and he's saying kind of all the right things. Like he's making jokes that aren't especially funny, but are really playing well in the crowd. He's comparing men to babies, which I mean that always works, right?
What man doesn't love a good game of peekaboo?
Yeah, that's like his big joke, and it's not
it's his delivery, and it's his.
He's confident. He's confident. Yeah. He should have said Arkansas. That was a good one.
Arkansas kills anywhere.
I guess I have some bios on these women. I only
Let's
really
at least talk about Nora.
Yeah, which one? Is she the one that's having the baby?
Nora's the first one. She's the one who watches the show all the time. She's the one who I think is into Tim more than anyone else. Yeah,
well then let's talk about her. Nora is played by Melissa Christopher, and
that's all we've got.
That's it. Pass. Melissa Christopher. Let's find out some things about her. 8 credits, Jordan. So she didn't do a lot.
Does she come back as like the mistress on Tool Time? That's what I want to know.
I wish so. This is her only appearance on Tool Time. She was in 3 episodes of Beverly Hills 90210. She played Rosie O'Toole. The Irishman.
Oh boy!
And her last credit was she was on a show called The Crew in 1996, playing Roberta. So
Roberta,
not what I.
She doesn't strike me as a Roberta.
Wait, this is interesting. She was previously married to John Cena.
What?
Wow!
On a wrestling episode?
No, like in real life.
No, I'm just saying, like in this episode, she's on an episode that they talk about wrestling.
Wow, that is a coincidence. Why is she married to John Cena? I mean, that's shocking. I mean, wouldn't she?
Do you want to take a break? My goodness.
She was married to John Cena from 1994 to 1995. How old's John Cena?
I guess he's older than you thought.
That's been 23 years ago. How old's John Cena?
He's probably 37.
This is important.
No, that
so
can't
he was
be
13.
Right.
Yeah,
no, that can't be right. He's 42.
He's 40. So he married her when he was 17.
Well, that explains it. That's why they were married for 1 year.
I'm not sure if this is right. This is not corroborated on his Wikipedia.
Somebody's going to IMDb and picking random people.
I mean, but why would they do that? I think this is worth exploring, just because John Cena's kind of hot right now. John Cena's 40. 1994.
I thought John Cena was hot like a year ago.
He's in Daddy's Home 2, which has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Weird that you put Mel Gibson in a movie and people aren't happy about it. Personal life. Give me a second. No, I don't think so. I just don't think that's right. Don't edit it out though. That's important. Okay. So also we have, and this is the reason that I wanted to get the bio, is we have Eve, who is played by Amy Steele, and she's the redheaded woman, and she notes that Tim is even more handsome in real life than he is on TV. And I recognized her because I just ranked all the Friday the 13th movies, and she is the star of Friday the 13th Part 2. And she's pretty good. She's probably one of the better final girls in those movies.
I thought you were going to say that she was also married to John Cena.
Someone's just going through from this episode and in the bios putting married John Cena in 1996. Other credits for Amy Steele, include All My Children, Guiding Light, April Fool's Day, Jag, and Tales of Poe. 43 credits to her name.
She's a little bit more
she's a little more prolific
in Hollywood.
Yeah. Last one, we have Alice Carter, who plays Linda, and she is the woman who the baby shower is for. She has 14 credits to her name, so these short-lived Hollywood careers. She last appeared in an episode of Party of Five in 1999. She was in a TV show called Daddy Dearest, and Jordan, get this, she was in House Party 2.
What?
She was in the movie House Party 2.
All right.
But let's pick up. I mean, it was good to. Look at that John Cena thing. Wow. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe we'll never know.
We're off the rails right now. This is really confusing to everyone around.
Let's pick it up.
Yeah, so like we said, Tim is very affable. The girls rave about him. He leaves, and they say he's the perfect man, the guy that I've been looking for. And Jill's like, back off. But no, she just says,
she really is,
yeah, who was that?
Yeah, and then she gets her going, Jordan.
Yeah, but we don't see that till a little bit later on.
The end of this. No, isn't it the end? It's not the end of this scene, or it's later on.
They kind of move on to a different scene.
Yeah, it's later, right?
Yeah, later in the same afternoon, probably like 30 minutes later.
Mm-hmm.
The shower is over. Linda is the last one out. Tim packed up all the gifts that weren't there, apparently, but they're now in her car. Tim continues to make jokes and be nice and all this kind of stuff. And then the boys are going to leave. They're going to go to that demolition derby and get all the coats and everything. But as the boys go out to the car, Jill grabs Tim, keeps him back, and she is turned on.
I mean, to the max. She's like, I mean, it's people are able to watch. She's like rubbing his butt. It's really strange. It's the kind of thing like there's no sex scenes, quote unquote, but like the foreplay in this episode just kind of made me uncomfortable because I just don't think of Jill in that way.
It was
long and graphic.
Yeah. Okay, so we're halfway through the episode. The rest of the episode is basically like this. And I don't know, there was just no indications that this was going to happen to me, so it caught me very off guard. Like, the title didn't tell me that this was going to happen. I didn't really see it coming from, like, the whole baby shower / demolition derby kind of plot that's going on here. So, yeah, it was very surprising. And it is Home Improvement After Dark.
You liked it, though, right? That's kind of what you're saying. I mean, you haven't said you didn't like it, so I guess I can always say
I can't confirm or deny anything at this point.
I mean, hey, man, I feel you. Right.
Well, I think, halfway through this episode, before we get too far into it, I think I need a break.
Okay.
I need to take a moment here and breathe a little bit. So we should tell people about the amazing opportunity that they have. I bet you even on Audible, they might have some more steamy romance novels that you can go ahead and listen to.
They probably have those books that everybody's grandmothers read where it's like Fabio on the cover of a paperback and he's like taking a woman's shirt off and it's just like exposed shoulders. And
I don't even think it's necessarily grandma's. I think everybody's reading that at this point.
Yeah, I think so. So they probably have books like that available. Maybe I don't know if they're Nora Roberts or not. I know Nora Roberts is also very popular.
We're just throwing names out.
But they have Nora Roberts and kind of raunchy books like that. Or even your 50 Shades of Grey, 50 Shades Freed, 50 Shades... The other one are probably also available on audible.com. And Jordan, what are we offering with Audible?
Yeah, you can go to audibletrial.com/homeinpodcast, and what you'll get is a free audiobook, so you can get your steamy romance novel, and you'll also get 30-day free trial of anything else that you want to listen to. So you can listen to your heart's delight to all of the different titles that they have on there. It's a special offer for our listeners, and we hope you take advantage of it. That's audibletrial.com/homeinpodcast.
Later that evening, Tim comes home from the demolition derby, and Jill is in bed reading. Tim, he comes in, and, he's just not really... I don't know if he's not reading the situation, but he doesn't really have an awareness of what's happening. Jill is, she wants to pick up where they left off, and if you remember where they left off, it was a train to...
Huntsville?
Pleasure Town? Huntsville? Either one. And
maybe a stop at each.
Perchance. I think at least 2 stops. So she's prepared to pick up where they left off, and she's wearing a... What do you call that?
Negligee?
A sexy negligee. And, Tim comes home, and he's just being very, very gross. He just is, like, talking about, like, he's burping, and he had too many chili cheese fries or chili dogs, and he's just like passing gas, and he's being very, very nasty.
He's ruining the mood, that's for sure.
And it just keeps getting worse and worse, and it's pretty funny, I thought. It's like pretty, I don't know, it's like crass and kind of brainless humor as much as, but I think like you hear somebody fart or like you hear the insinuation that someone passes gas, even as an adult, it's hard not to laugh at that. But
yeah, I mean, he gets under the covers or whatever, and then he like burps in her face, and then he farts underneath the blankets, and she obviously at this point she's like, oh my gosh, you've ruined the mood. She gets up, puts on her robe, they start to argue. Tim doesn't really understand what the problem is,
which is a little stupid.
Yeah, he's like, what happened? And you know, she wanted to be charmed, she wanted to feel like there was some romance in their marriage after 15 years, and he's not understanding that at
everybody
this
else
point.
gets the good version of Tim. Jill gets the gross, nasty version of Tim, and yeah, it's a scene. It's a funny scene. He's just like being gross in every way possible. Like he's talking. I like it when he's got like, I got like a chili dog stuck right here. He just kind of points it. It's funny. I liked it, but
he's very obtuse in this scene.
Jill does not find it funny, and she slams the door, and that's how the scene ends. Yeah,
she's gonna sleep downstairs, I guess.
Maybe an overreaction. I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't know. You know, a woman scorned, and she was looking forward to something. Once again, expectations just ruin her night. So I don't know.
Yeah, all right.
I wouldn't be happy. So,
have you ever found yourself in this situation?
Not yet. I haven't been married for 15 years though.
Does your wife go to demolition derbies?
She calls them demolition dirties.
Okay, good.
All right. So next day, Tim's outside seeding the lawn. This scene, they really make it clear that it's spring, I guess. Wilson's outside trying to balance an egg. There is a myth or a belief that you can balance an egg on the vernal equinox, which is the start of spring. And there's some, I don't know if they've ever had this before, but like at the fence they have all these different like bushes that are blooming and stuff. So they make it very clear that it is spring. But and Tim says, you know, the vernal equinox, that's why Jill was off. And, you know, I guess I'm halfway through this scene, but we usually play a clip.
Yeah,
because Wilson's outside.
Yeah, we should probably play a clip here. I mean,
I just got so excited.
I know you were really excited to tell everybody that you thought it was spring twice. So
you guys, it's spring.
Let the clip do the talking from here on
out.
You
guys know that it's spring?
Here we go.
Drat.
Problem, Wilson?
Well, Tim, I am attempting to balance an egg, but it's not easy.
But if it falls, it's over easy.
You are quite the yokester. Actually, Tim, some people believe that an egg will stand on its end during the vernal equinox.
The vernal what nox?
The vernal equinox, Tim. It signifies the first day of spring. It's when the sun is directly over the equator and gravitational pull is at its strongest.
It's probably what's affecting Jill.
What'd you do this time, Tim?
I didn't do anything. She's all bent out of shape because I'm too charming.
Well, you are quite the dazzler. I don't see why that would upset Jill, though.
She thinks I'm only charming for other people and not her.
Oh,
I think she wants things to be like they were when we first met, you know? But I like the way things are now. I like not always having to impress the other person or get dressed up.
So you would tend to agree with J.B. Priestley, who said that marriage is like an endless visit in your worst clothes.
That guy Priestley really knew about marriage.
And divorce, too. He was married 3 times.
Oh, no. 3 mother-in-laws. You know, when Jill and I first got married, in order to win her, I really had to pour on the charm. And then she wanted to see through the charm, see if I really loved her. And now that she knows I really love her, she wants the charm back.
Well, Tim, maybe after 15 years of marriage, making an effort to be more charming has more meaning.
Yeah. It's too bad. I like being comfortable in my own house. If I got a little gas, I don't want to have to run out to the backyard.
I don't want that either.
So, yeah, there's the Wilson scene. I've been silenced. Apparently, I've been talking too much about spring. So, Adam, why don't you go ahead and pick it up?
I mean, those bushes were great, though. You were really excited about this.
I just feel like it was very
They were going out of their way to show the changing of the seasons.
Yes.
Yeah, well.
They don't usually do that. I don't feel like.
They don't usually have I mean, this episode subverts in many ways. It's X-rated. They're talking about spring.
I mean, it's episode 69.
That's true.
For goodness
I mean,
sakes.
yeah. So Tim comes out. I'm finding my notes here. And he explained the situation to Wilson and, the whole egg thing, which doesn't really relate in any way. But Tim, he explains the situation. He says, I like the way things are now. I don't want to have to, dating is hard, and the first couple of months are nerve-wracking, and I like being comfortable, and I like not having to dress up, and, essentially, he likes being kind of lazy. And he doesn't really want things to change. He likes the way things are. And then Wilson just kind of notes that maybe a little bit of romance after 15 years wouldn't be a good thing to kind of show Jill that he loves her and still cares about her.
Yep.
And then it does end on a funny scene where
it does.
where
I like this line.
It's a good line where he does it. He said, every time I want to pass gas, I don't want to have to run out to the backyard and do it. And Wilson says that I don't want you to either, which is funny. There's some good jokes in this one.
Yeah, a lot of good one-liners.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Wilson gives him some good advice, and immediately he's gonna go put it into practice. He goes on upstairs. I guess it's later, maybe at night or something, but it's the next scene.
It's
in the
simple.
episode,
Things wrap up pretty.
Yeah.
It's a simple episode. There's not a lot.
There's no dawdling.
Yeah, they get to it, which is fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind. So Tim was working on the car. He's all greased up and he's got his overalls on and whatnot. So he comes up, tries to apologize. He says he doesn't try to charm her like he used to, and he starts reminiscing about the early days about when he was going to propose to her and how nervous he was and all that kind of stuff. And he says he's still got some tricks up his sleeve. He brings out a flower. And then he goes one step further and he rips off his overalls and underneath.
It's like a tearaway almost. And he's
wearing
a
tearaway,
yep.
full tearaway. He's got a tuxedo underneath, and he pretends to be James Bond.
That was cool.
Yes. He then shuts the door, and then they use that intercom that was, very useful. So he puts it to use here. Turns on some romantic music. Turns down the lights. They start dancing to "The Way You Look Tonight." And we should say Jill is wearing a robe here. And
this was almost a step too far for me.
this was perhaps the most X-rated part of the whole episode. She says she reveals to Tim that she's not wearing anything underneath, and then they go one step further and they kind of pan down just to her legs. And the robe drops, and you see some bare calves, and you know what's going to happen next.
It was unbelievable. I mean, it's just, I don't know, I don't know why it seems so odd to me. I guess because we've watched, 69 episodes, and, we just never see anything like this. If you see, you see sex and stuff and nudity and other movies and venues and stuff, but, you see it here, man, it was just very, very strange to me. Because
not on brand necessarily for them.
They've never even been close to, what they're doing in this episode. They really ramped up the sexuality.
Yeah, I don't know where it came from.
I think they did it for you.
Why for me?
You always complain. You always say that the show is just not risque enough for you.
Yeah, I'm always saying that. At the time, I was 5, so I don't think they're doing it for me.
Yeah, I don't know.
But maybe later on they're gonna do it for Mark.
Right, so final scene. It's the next day, and I think we've decided we're just gonna play a clip here.
Mom and Dad up yet? No, and quit bugging us. But it's late. When are they gonna get up? Don't you know anything? Whenever Mom and Dad have a fight, Dad apologizes, and then the next morning they sleep late. I don't think they're sleeping. You don't? Why not? Because I heard them jumping up and down in their bed. Oh. Well, they're probably just having one of their somersault contests. Yeah, it's a lot like the Olympics. Sounds like fun. Why don't they ask us to play? Trust me, Mark. You don't want to play. Oh, hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Hi, sweetie. What a great day.
Yeah, what a great day.
Brad and Randy told me what you were doing upstairs.
They did?
Yeah. Having one of those somersault contests. Who won?
Your mom wins. She always wins. You did win, didn't you?
Twice.
All right, so yeah, just an interesting end to an interesting episode here, I guess I will say. It's early morning, the parents are not up yet, but all the boys are, and Randy and Brad know exactly what's happening, but Mark does not.
Which,
He
isn't
comes
that
in.
weird? Kind of, like, they're, like, so casual about the whole thing, like, I don't know, that seemed a little bit unrealistic
They're
to
just
me.
like, adults have sex.
Yeah, like,
I guess. They're not very grossed out about it.
No, and they're still quite young. I don't know, it strikes me as being kind of strange, but...
But they do know, and they won't tell Mark, but they ask what he thinks is going on, and, they come to the conclusion that they're having a somersault contest, and Mark's like, oh, that sounds like fun, I'd like to join, and Randy says, no, you don't. Parents do come down, they're in a great mood, everything is just a vivid color today, sun's shining, it's a wonderful day, they're in a great mood, and Mark says, I know what you were doing, and they're afraid because they actually think that...
They stop dead in their tracks.
They're like, uh-oh.
They're like, not this.
They have not had the birds and the bees talk with Mark at this point.
I mean,
and
Mark's still eating, like, paste on the reg, so I don't think he's quite ready for that.
And, he tells them about the somersault contest, and...
he asks who won.
He asks who won, and Tim says, Jill won, she always wins. And then as he leaves... Tim reiterates, did you win? And she says, yes, I won twice.
And that's your family-friendly ABC comedy Home Improvement, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, orgasm jokes on episode 69. Yeah. It all just fits.
Yeah. Roll credits, fade to black. It was the best of Tim's. It was the worst of Tim's. Ebenezer Screwage.
Demolition Dirty.
Highs and lows, Jordan.
Actually, I mean, as different as it was, I did think it was a pretty good episode. Maybe because I was just shocked and it was something that I never saw coming. It went there. But also I did enjoy a lot of like the one-liner jokes that came from Tim in this episode and Wilson in his scene. I did enjoy Felix more than you did. I guess he's just not your sense of humor.
He's just boring. He's so boring.
Just boring for you. Yeah. I do like the dry humor. I'm trying to think of lows. I mean, there wasn't a ton of boys, but even the last scene with the boys, I really did like. So, like, it wasn't bad. I didn't think there was any scenes that were really out of place, and it made sense to me. So, yeah, overall, I liked the way they did this one. They had something different at the start where they left Tool Time a little bit. They didn't spend as much Tool Time at Tool Time in general, which I think is fine.
Tool Time.
They've been there so often. So, yeah, I don't really have a lot of lows for this one. I'm not going to say it's like one of my very favorite episodes, but it was a good one.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on many of the points you made. I think it's just funny. Yeah, there's a lot of good jokes. The jokes land. The scene with Tim in the bedroom where he's just kind of being gross is funny in a lowbrow sort of way. The scene at the end with the boys is funny. There's just a lot of good bits here. And yeah, I guess the sexual dynamics here are at the very least interesting. I was very, very surprised to see them. I thought, I guess, it worked across the board. It wasn't by any means too far. I think we're kind of joking around. It's just It's too far. It's just so different than what we've seen. But I thought that in general it worked. Lows, I guess the Tool Time scene for me just wasn't especially enjoyable. Not really very funny. You
were sad that Al wasn't there in the flesh.
I mean, that didn't really bother me, I guess. I just don't like Felix. I just kind of thought it was a little bit boring and sort of maybe slowed things down. But I like this one because it moves quickly. There's not a lot of deliberation. They are not fighting for a very long time. It just moves at a rapid clip. And, I laughed a lot. So, good episode overall.
All right. Nice. I like it. It's been a while since we've both liked an episode.
Yeah, the last couple have been bummers, for sure. Real drags.
All right, that wraps up episode 69. So, let's move over to Sean's social media roundup. It's the social media roundup. It's the social media corner. We haven't picked which name, but it's both.
Both, depending on the week, yeah.
So, I want to start actually, it's in November. We did that giveaway for October for for the Tim Allen bestseller, and I think it's time to announce a winner. We've got all of our entries in. We had a total of 24 entries, I guess.
For lack of a better word.
Yeah, for lack of a better term here. So, without further ado, we've done a random...
Are we going to insert a drum roll here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we have to. Yeah, let's really build the tension.
We used a random number generator, and we've got a winner.
Wow.
So, here we go. The winner for Tim Allen's Don't Stand Too Close to a Naked Man, autographed by your favorite home improvement podcast host with a sticker of our logo.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a crazy.
This
crazy
is insane.
Gift.
I stopped. If you're driving, pull over because
it's very shocking. All right, so the winner is Mark Volbeck.
Wow,
so,
Mark, congratulations.
Man, amazing.
Yeah,
Thank you for supporting the show, Mark, and we hope you enjoy
this. Couldn't happen to a better
this.
guy. Mark, you're going to need to reach out to us and let us know where to send this sweet swag.
Yeah, we'll reach out to him. We've got his contact information.
Fair enough. Either way, let's touch base and figure out how to send that. And thanks everyone for entering and supporting the show.
Absolutely. All right. We don't have anything in the mailbag, right?
No, I did a Twitter poll. It was pretty not a lot of action. Are you a good cook? 9 votes, 22% no, 78% yes. So
cocky
not
audience.
Very humble, but good cooks across the board. So
that's good.
That's really it. Yeah, not a lot of action on Twitter of late.
Right.
So
well, if you want to reach out and participate in our polls or any of that kind of stuff, you can find us at thehomeandpodcast.com. You can find us on Twitter at homeandpodcast, facebook.com/homeandpodcast. You can support us by going to patreon.com/homeandpodcast, or you can leave a review on iTunes. Those are free, and anything will help others find us. So just, you can always just spread word of mouth as well. Tell your friend. Get him to listen to Home and Podcast. I mean, good gracious.
Yeah, if you're not telling your friends about us, then I don't know what you're doing.
What's your problem? Don't make me come over there. Right. With that, Adam, question of the week?
Yeah, all right, Jordan.
How do you like this? Don't make it. I know you're going to make it about.
No, you don't. I don't think you do. All right. I'm not going to make anything dirty. All right. Unless you think breakfast foods are dirty. Jordan, this episode, they talk a little bit about eggs. Wilson's trying to balance them. And I just want to ask you, Jordan, how do you like your eggs in the morning?
I actually don't like eggs very much. So, bad question.
Okay,
but,
how could I have known?
Yeah, I'm not a big egg guy. I do like eggs in waffles or pancakes. If I had to have an egg, I guess I would take scrambled.
Okay.
I'm a scrambled guy. Are you an over easy guy? I bet you are.
Over hard.
Oh my.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, that can't be it. We have to do better there.
We're gonna have a bonus question of the week.
It's hard. I forget sometimes that you have the diet of a 6-year-old boy and that you don't eat a lot of food. So
I actually eat a lot of food.
Jordan, what do you? What's your ideal breakfast meal?
Yeah, I kind of mentioned this a little bit earlier. I do love like all the French toast, waffle, pancake, that type of stuff. If I had to pick out of those 3, I would pick maybe some French toast with some nice powdered sugar on it. Maybe like a berry compote, and then bacon. I love some bacon. And do I need anything else?
What are you gonna have to drink, Jordan?
I'm kind of a water guy, but I could go for some unsweet iced tea in the morning. Give me some caffeine and get me going.
Okay,
so sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
What about you?
Oh yeah. Well.
Oh yeah.
Let me tell you about what I like. I mean, I like it all, man. I like a skillet. You get give me
some like fried potatoes.
And give me some eggs over hard, and you put a little cheese on it, and you put it over like some hash browns or some.
Stop whispering! It's scary.
Some fried potatoes, and then I just cover it in sriracha, and I just kind of mix it all up.
Sriracha? Oh my!
Oh yeah, baby! And then you give me some whole wheat bread, and I'm kind of making my own breakfast sandwiches, and a little pancake action on the side. And some fine coffee.
That's a
two
big
creams,
breakfast.
Yeah, that's probably about the breakfast I would eat if I were to go out and have breakfast. Other than that, any kind of breakfast food's good.
The
Orange
fact
juice,
that you
too.
just went from that weird like voice to your normal voice is very disconcerting to me.
I mean, just give me some eggs over some hash browns, and that's gonna get me right where I need to be.
We're gonna lose sponsorship now.
No, we're not. No, we're not. We hardly have
Kirsten's
any.
gonna withhold her money from us.
The bar
from
is
now
so
on.
low. All right, so really great questions of the week. Obviously, fantastic. Really worked out. Let's talk about our schedule the next couple of weeks before we sign off.
It seems
here.
only right that we should talk about food before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So that's fine. All right, so next couple of weeks for your Thanksgiving pleasure, we're going to split our Jungle to Jungle episode. It's about 2 hours long, and we did this a while ago for our paid subscribers, but we want to make it available to everyone.
Have to.
Everyone in full.
Have to.
So
too good to be hidden.
Yeah, it's pretty great. So if you want to relive just the raw, unfettered dream that was Jungle to Jungle starring Tim Allen, you can do so in 2 episodes. So we will be off, but you'll still hear from us. So it's kind of it works for everybody. Mm-hmm. And
if you
what
want to
else?
listen to us talk about the film that Roger Ebert said was the worst film of 1997 and has a 20% on Rotten Tomatoes, but it's probably not as good as you remember, but also probably not as bad as you might think it's going to be, then you're going to want to listen to our 2-part Jungle to Jungle episode.
I mean, Matika, need I say more?
Enough said. So we're going to spread that over the next couple of weeks because of Thanksgiving and the holidays, and then we will be back.
5th anniversary is going to be the next episode.
Okay, so with the 5th anniversary, and then sometime in mid to late December, we will be releasing our Santa Claus 2 episodes.
Yeah, and that will also be split in 2. I figure, 2 hours is a long episode of Home and Podcast.
I also figure, it's nice to have some time off, and we like to split these things up and make our time count. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
So you'll be looking forward to that coming up.
Yeah.
And once again, want to say thank you to Audible, our sponsor, and Kirsten, our other sponsor for this episode. If you want to get a free trial and a free audiobook for Audible, go to audibletrial.com/homeandpodcast.
All right. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Jordan, I'll give thanks to you as well. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining me. And I guess I should say take care.
Take care, everybody.